What's up, everybody? Good morning. How's it going? What a beautiful day out there today in Charlotte, North Carolina. I am looking forward to a very exciting day today. It's gonna get interesting. I am currently, if anybody, I don't know if anybody is in this short, but I am in this short at 13,450. I got filled right over here, got really lucky. And I'm in this short. My target is 13,400 if it wants to come down. And my stop currently is at break even. So if it wants to break me, I mean, I hate trading at like 9 o'clock-ish. Things can get pretty wild. So that's where my stop is in case this thing wants to just rampage Jackson. But I like that we're below this high wave. Maybe we'll meet some turbulence here and then maybe we'll just continue to roll down. Why the 4,000? I mean, 400 as the target is because of this area right here. So this trend line roughly coincides with that target. So that's why I have that as target. I'm not looking to trail this thing. I'm actually just looking to make 50 points and that's it. But 50 points is quite a bit. So I'm good with that. Let's get this party started. SPY looking very, very interesting. Let's see, hold on. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Ron. Good morning, Martina. Good morning, Wynn. Good morning, Dale, Jay Linder, Alex, Eric. You guys are up bright and early today. Let's look at SPY. And then we've got some really interesting gaps that I thought were gonna look pretty decent if we were to dip today. Fun fact, guys, today is the day that Amazon IPO'd in 1997. And it turns out if you had put $1,000 in Amazon today in 1997, you would have had $1.5 million, despite recession, despite 2008, despite COVID, despite inflation, all of that, you would have still converted your 1,000 into $1.5 million. How cool is that, right? Jeremy told me about his friend who puts $1,000 in any IPO. Anything that IPOs, he just puts $1,000 and then lets it ride. I think that's a really cool strategy because I mean, how do you know to pick the one thing that's going to become the Amazon, you know, in the next 20, 30 years? How do you know? I don't know. I mean, maybe some AI company today could become the next Amazon in 30 years. I don't know. Can't tell you which one. Yes, Lauren says you only need to get one right at one time. Yeah, absolutely, right? It's so cool. So yeah, I just thought that was really interesting. All right, guys, SPY, let's get to business. This thing is coiling. I mean, there's no other word besides coiling. If we put up all the moving averages, moving averages are not very wide. Let's look at the Bollinger Bands. I'm pretty sure the Bollinger Bands are super, super close together. Yeah, they're tight. The Bollinger Bands are pretty tight. Let's see when it got that tight before. See, like when things get this tight, you gotta wait for that explosion. And it's coming, y'all. I mean, I can feel it. This is getting really, really tight, right? And every time it's gotten that way, we've had an explosion in one way or the other. So let's see. I mean, maybe we just slow grind up like 2020, but I think we are expecting some sort of move in one way or the other. Let me turn off the Bollinger Bands. Give me 1 second. Don't want any of these things. All right, so just keep an eye out for a larger move in SPY. Maybe from here on, it's a good idea to trail your stops, you know, rather than taking all at target, which I know goes everything against I just told you guys, but you know, if we get a decisive move in one direction or the other, we also have this coilage, right? And so if I could draw properly, this guy right here. And so I guess maybe 1 or 2 more days of consolidation, and then we got to make a choice. We got to decide in which way we go. There are certain events happening today where White House is meeting with the Democrats and Republicans, and they're considering what to do, blah, 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 with all the debt ceiling stuff that's going on. I don't think the debt ceiling is not going to get raised. There's no way that's not happening. It's definitely happening, but it's the negotiations and how the market perceives it prior to that could be a little bit scary. So yeah, I think we maybe dip down a little bit and then we get that debt ceiling raised and then we go up higher. I don't know, whichever way we go, I think it'll be fun to play it in either direction. We're still at this level, guys, the 420, level on the SPY, which has been rock solid. Like it's been there. So you can't ignore it. You can't just look past it. It's there, and we gotta take it seriously. So I think any move to the upside, there's not much risk to reward, but to the downside, oh boy, we've got lots.
See you later.
See ya.
Let's see who is. Let me unmute. I think it's Dan. Okay, here you go. Awesome. Okay, cool deal. So let's go look at Qs real quick. Qs too on the weekly chart. I mean, we're kind of sort of there. Qs actually look like they broke out with, from this resistance that we had at 317. Well, I mean, we're quite a bit up there. And then we also have our weekly 100 right here, SMA. So be careful. I mean, it's at my put buying range right now. And okay, so my trading view says participants can, I think it's my Zoom. Let me know if your screen froze or whatever. I'm not sure. If that happened, just let me know. Okay, Lauren says it's just me, or and I know Lauren, there are good gaps. I'll show you guys some. Okay, cool. But here's where I will be looking to do. So yesterday, I found a bear call spread at 340 and 345, expiring June 9th, or yeah, June 9th. 25 days away is where it was, and it was paying 64 cents. I put a bid at 70 and I didn't get filled. So today I'm looking forward to that. See if I could get filled over there. That would be nice. Just a slight pullback off of these ranges. We're extended off of the 10 EMA. I think it could be really, really cool if I get filled there. Let's see what happens. Let's see how it turns out. All right, let's get to the gaps. Jenna says, I can see you. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay, so this dude, I don't know what Sarepta Therapeutics does. Gotta say it's got something to do with the medical industry, but SRPT is a pretty decent, well, I mean, it's not a gap, it's an inside candle right now, but that gap up was pretty decent, especially into resistance. And we got a high wave off of there. I think today, if it turns into a bear day, this looks like a solid play. Down to the gap fill area, I don't think we're giving up $20, and I don't know what the news was on this, but this looks like a pretty decent thing that it can pull back down to. I will keep an eye on it. I'm not super excited. This is not something I'm just gonna go, oh yeah, short and open. That's not happening, but it does look kind of cute for that high wave action. There is Home Depot, which I think is a pretty phenomenal gap into support area. So when I was looking at it, it was at 382, and I was like, oh, cool, this is bouncing. If we give up 280, I think even on a weekly level, it's gonna be disastrous for Home Depot. But in one way, when I look at it, we're gapping down right into this trend line, right? Like right over here. So we're gapping down right into this trend line. We do have room to go down, maybe 278. So if Home Depot goes down a little bit at open, so let's say at open, it does something like this, I would look to fade it up. So, keep an eye out for Home Depot. Plus it's Home Depot. I don't know. I mean, it's just, I don't know how low it can go. So yeah, I like this. This is a pretty massive gap down though. So some of these bulls may want to get out or, look to take some profits, or some of the new bears may jump in thinking, oh, we're letting go off this level, this support area, and come down and get trapped. So that's something I'm looking forward to on Home Depot. It is a retest gap, so that gap could fill, right? I mean, it's not a gap and go. It's not like we trapped bulls from previous session. So yeah, something to look out for. I'll move Home Depot up a little bit higher than the Qs. Okay, cool. Tesla, if you guys want to look at anything specific, I would be glad to take a look. It's no lows, but it should bounce. Yeah, well, who makes more money, or like who's a bigger corporation, Lowe's or Home Depot? Which one? All right, Gisela says Tesla, Nvidia, and AMD. Tessie had a rough day yesterday. Although I expected it to be a much deeper downside kind of day on Tessie, it's not like that. So, you know, we got this high wave, but we broke this support, y'all. Like this was a rock solid support on Tessie, and we broke it. So I expected it to dip down a lot more, but it didn't really quite go. So today we're just kind of hovering here. It would be best if we had a green candle here, and then tomorrow we gap down below it. That would be nice. If not, then we'd be just super extended to the bear side if we have a bearish day today. So yeah, 160 is the range I'm watching out for on Tessie to make a new stop at now. You know, I mean, if we were thinking about where does this train stop next, this is the level, 160. So yeah, keep an eye out for bearish moves. I don't think I want to play Tesla bullish today. If you guys can visualize this, you know, we just kind of sort of fill that gap and now we're going lower, which is why it was so important for Tessie to hold this level, right? And so I'm kind of worried about it at this point, and maybe it's just S-curving down. So for day trades, I'm looking for bear moves versus bull moves. If we take out 170 though, that might get interesting on Tesla. I don't know if we do. We might get, you know, some trap bears from this day and this day. So let's keep an eye out for it. We're not that far off from 170 either. We're right there. We're at 166. We're 4 points away. So yeah, I think the risk to reward is great on both sides, honestly. But if I had to guess, I would really put my money on the bear side rather than the bull side. That's just my 2 cents. Lost an hour on Tesla yesterday. Oh no! Tesla had a beautiful short yesterday. I made some money on it yesterday. Let's look at Meta, and then we'll go over Tesla yesterday's play. Meta, there's nothing in this chart that excites me. Honestly, I'll leave it alone. I don't want to waste time going over this guy. Roblox, I'm just going to delete it. I never look at it. It's just one of those things that doesn't excite me as much. Apple, you guys, has been specifically weak compared to the broader markets, right? I don't know what's going on with Apple lately. It's just some of my friends on YouTube that may be watching from India. I don't know if you guys remember that apple juice drink that we used to call Appy. Well, that was called Appy. We didn't just come up with that name, but that's where that name comes from, Appy. I just every time I think of Apple, that's what I think of. But anyway, so it's not very strong compared to the rest of the markets. I think today, if we start letting go of the 10 EMA, it's going to get a little bit wild on Apple. And that's what may drag the overall markets down with it, you know? So keep an eye out on Apple. Don't get caught sleeping on this guy either. I mean, this is not looking very strong on Apple comparatively to the Qs and SPY. You know, it's not really looking like it could just run off. And I mean, some pullback is due on Apple, right? I mean, this is unreal. So we're extended off of the 10 EMA on the weekly chart. We're gapping into resistance. Well, not gapping, but you know, we're coming close to resistance areas. We take out the low of this high wave, you guys, we're coming down this week. That could happen. So let's keep an eye out for Apple. Closes below the 10 EMA on the daily would definitely signify weakness, and we will look to short it maybe down to here today. I can't short it, but you could if you want to. It's just against my rules. Can't short Apple. Square is also significantly weak. So I don't really want to Giselle says I could use more in my long-term account. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens to Apple, right? Every dip gets bought because it is such a good stock. It just, every time it goes lower, it gets bought up because somewhere someone's going to find value in it at whatever level it's at. So yeah, don't want to waste too much time on Square either. Let's look at Nvidia, and then we'll come back to Netflix real quick. Nvidia, I agree, has this neat little double bottom right now. Okay. And I see it, but you guys, I don't know if I want to this had a double bottom here too. And yes, maybe we could get a candle like this today. Sure. But I don't know if I want to double bottom play this here at 290. It's just a preference thing. I would prefer it in a bearish direction a lot more than bullish right now. And I think everybody else here could agree with me. So I'm not looking to entertain it to the bullish side off of that double bottom. And sure, maybe I will just miss out on a wonderful move like this guy. So, here there is that double bottom. And then that day was your day to go long on it. I mean, it's just clear. It's clean, right? So we have that. Here's another double bottom, and this day was your day to go long off of it. Here is another double bottom that we have, and maybe above here is your thing to go long off of. And great. If you make decent money on that day, fantastic. I don't think I'm looking to entertain it bullish at this point. I'm a little bit scared actually, but if we take out the high of this, maybe a quick scalp to the bull side, sure. For a day trade, sure. Nothing in the long-term account at all right now. That's what I'm heard last night that Nvidia could get to 360 in 6 weeks. Sure, and it can. I mean, there's nothing stopping it other than this guy right here. It's not like there's anything stopping it. It can obviously go up to the new highs, and absolutely, I get it, but it's just too extended for me personally, where I'm kind of scared. Where I don't want to be the person buying here and then it doesn't go to 360. You know what I mean? So I am not looking to entertain it. I'm not willing to play the charts as they come. And I'm more of a bias trader on Nvidia right now, which I know is the worst thing to do and is pretty wrong. But for a day trade, sure, maybe we'll take a bullish scalp if this thing goes higher. So this is an area that I'm watching out for, 291. The high of this candle, break out of that. I think that could get interesting. We take this guy out though. That could also get interesting. So here's our double bottom that didn't work out. And then here's the bear candle. So, we take this guy out, that could also get interesting. So let's keep an eye out for Nvidia and see where it wants to go. It is one of the stronger ones though, comparatively. Amazonian, it's doing nothing right now. This is not a gap that I'm like, oh yeah, that's fantastic. Nothing exciting. These are somewhat tweezer bottoms right here with a high wave. I think a breakdown of this high wave goes bearish, break out of this high wave goes bullish. That's just my 2 cents on Amazon. Nothing about this chart is like, oh, we should go long or we should go short today for a day trade perspective, at least. Google is looking very, very interesting. Now, this is a gap. Well, not really a gap, but this is a chart that I'm excited about. Let me see what the weekly looks like on Google. Do we have any moving averages along the way? Oh, yeah. This is what the Qs need to do for me. Yeah, okay. Cool deal. So today, I am looking for a bear move on Google. And especially if the broader markets give me that chance, this is going to get interesting. We're going to gap fill this area. So 113.38 is my target on Google. And I'm looking for one green candle at open, as you guys know, and a breakdown of that. So on a 3 minute, 1 minute, whatever you want. That's what I'm looking to do with my target at 113 and stop, I guess, above 119. That's a good risk to reward kind of play. But it's looking week with that, inverted hammer, this little doji, and we're looking to come down. This is where I will take some profit though at 115 and then look to ride down all the way here. So keep an eye out on Google. One of you here in the room, please alert me if we have that green candle at open. My 150 covered calls are going to be closed this Friday. Oh, Lauren, you better be wishing, hoping, waiting for that 115 close. Oh man. What's the open interest on it right now? Because if there's a lot of open interest on it, they're gonna close that thing above it. Sorry, crew, I had to take a sip of my tea. You don't mind getting called away, but hey, I mean, it's gonna, covered calls when you get called away are always a wonderful thing. To me, I think that's like the best thing that could ever happen to you, because then at least, you probably got in over here somewhere. If not, then you're much smarter and you probably got in above 100 and you're up 16, 15 points. Get called away. Why not? Right? So yeah, Google definitely is one of my favorite tickers right now. Let me see what YouTube's doing right now. Do you talk about small caps here, says Stanford? Stanford, yes and no. So we don't really, yes, if somebody asks me about it, I will, but normally I will look at specific tickers that I have on my list. So if you have another one on your mind, let me know and I will definitely look at it. Yeah, when it was at 100, I knew it. And I'm looking to add to my long-term position on Google also. So, we'll see. When it comes back down a little bit, I am looking to add to it. So yeah, I guess, this thing is going to fizz out with the whole AI hype. And if it pulls back enough, I'm interested in it again. So yeah. Beautiful double bottom, this little inverted hammer, and we took it out. This is a beautiful gap up. Perfect play on Google. Gerline says Netflix. Gerline, is that how you say your name? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, but that is also a very Indian name. Gerline. Yeah. Okay, cool. Netflix is oh, yes. My bear call spread on this thing is looking good today, for sure. This is a pretty good gap down. It's a retest gap. It could just go up there and then we come back down. The only problem with Netflix right now is that it's coming into some support here. And let's look at the smaller time frames real quick. The 1 hour obviously is broken, right? Like this is broken. And it's not looking very strong, but down here somewhere is a good, like 330 is a good level of support. So I would wait for a move up a little bit and then look for that rollover. So if we look at it on the daily chart and the RSI is kind of low, it's not super low, but yeah, see like the 4 hours kind of low right now. It's coming into some support. The 330 is a good level of support, I would say. So, let's keep an eye out for Netflix. If it bounces off of here and then goes and retraces a little bit, maybe to 336-ish, then afternoon rollover is what I'm looking for on Netflix, because it's got things here, it's got support here at the 10 EMA. So yes, but I like this gap down a lot. I really do. I would be looking for some buyers to come in, get trapped, and then roll over. So if you look at it on the 4 hour chart, we got this S curve. And so now I'm looking for another S curve up to maybe 336-ish and then roll down, right, to 330-ish. Well, that's what I'm looking for. So yeah, let's keep an eye out for this dude right here. Did we look at AMD? Not yet. Let's go look at AMD. We're going through these things really, really fast today. Cool. All right, AMD. Don't really know what to do with AMD. it's, it was like the weakest thing ever. And now it's really, really strong again. So I don't know what to do with this. I'm not really, really excited about this gap. Like nothing about this makes me want to go, oh, let's go long or let's go short. I do see this, trend line bull flag kind of thing being broken out. We retested it and now we're continuing to go higher. Look out at 100. If you are in this thing long, take profits at 100 and stay still, I guess. Trail your stops. For day trade, nothing really exciting here. I'm not really, really excited about this. As excited I am about Google or Home Depot. None of this just really makes sense to me. And it's because I'm watching out for pullbacks. I'm looking for those bear moves on a weaker day kind of thing. Ooh, the cubes are falling. What is SPY doing? But yeah, I'm looking for that pullback, and AMD does not scream pullback to me. It screams bullish to me. So yeah, SPY below 410 is going to get really interesting. So I would draw a line here at 410 and see if we break down on it. We break down at 410, we're donezo. We're coming down to some levels. So SPY's looking interesting. RSI could go lower. Nothing's holding it, really. Nothing's stopping it from coming down lower or going higher, actually. So RSI looks decent, but it's not looking very strong right now. It needs to hold certain levels, and it's not doing that. Let's see what happens at 410. Yesterday, it held that level perfectly well. So yeah, I would draw a line here and then see what it does around this area. 4 hours, yeah, we've got that little trend line here, and see which way it wants to break. Keep an eye out on SPY too, you guys. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch the futures video that I did with Jeremy, where I talked about making 500 every day. But if you took that short on NQ right now, I'm sitting at 28. 13,428. I'm sitting at 400. So this is what I mean. Like sometimes I'll get to my goal before the market opens. Definitely look into trading futures, you guys. All right. Before I let go of YouTube, do we have any other tickers that we want to look at? Wix is an interesting gap. Low for a fade. Yes. If you fade Home Depot, Lowe's is the same exact process. Wix. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it does have an interesting gap. Retest gap, buy off of the 10 EMA. That's all I could say. And it looks like it's got a pretty good earnings. And it's a decent, RLT uses Wix. So it's a decent company, can't go wrong with it. Definitely buy the dip on this. So if it pulls back at open, this would be my bull play. Bullish retest gap. Can't go wrong with it. Above this wick, yeah, makes sense. I think I would target the 20 EMA. I wouldn't get super ambitious with this and go, oh yeah, we're going to take out the high of this. But for a day trade, I would target the 20 EMA and call it quits. Lows, let's look at lows. Nobody ever got back to me with who is the stronger company. Lows also, yes, if Home Depot starts to fade, Lowe's is going to fade for sure. And it's gapping down into support. Look at this solid support here. It's there. You can't deny it. So yeah, I would say, maybe sell a put expiring today if you get good premium down here, or maybe look to go long today. This is a retest gap. So, it's going to get that fade up for sure. If we get some selling coming in at open, I think 193, 194 area, then we could go long off of that. That's what I would be looking for on Lowe's. So yeah, let's keep an eye out on Lowe's also. And then we'll see which way it wants to go or which way it doesn't want to go. All right, YouTube, it's time for me to say goodbye to you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. Give us a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next Tuesday. Thanks, guys.